What's good, squad? It's another day, another dollar. I'm just trying to live my life. Yeah, we out here, and today I just want to discuss, my trials and tribulations, my journey. I feel like I've overcome some stuff, and I feel like I've cracked the code, found some tools that helped me. I feel like I can benefit those who are truly in need. This ain't gonna be for everybody, and I understand that. So if you're not vibing with the message, you're not vibing with whatever I have to say, then so be it. You can keep it moving, but this is for those who are stuck in that trauma, those who are dealing with the dark night of the soul, those who are facing the trials and tribulations, feeling like they're hopeless and have no way out. I'm going to tell you there is a way out. I want to tell you that there is hope. I want to tell you that there is a better way. It's all perspective. Yeah, the universe is mental, and that's real. It's to a degree where we beat ourselves up so bad to the point that we actually believe what's being said. And a lot of times, all that negative stuff that we're thinking is what we become. So you got to change the way you think. It's all about perspectives. It's all about having to change perspective. For me, I had a big change of perspective. I had a long journey, just like hearing every side of the story, hearing people from all walks of life sharing their side, and that really helped me change my perspective, made me change my worldview on things. And I was biased to a lot of stuff, and I feel like a lot of times our biasness can hold us back, and it can be to a level where we don't even realize it. But I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest things that I had to overcome was porno. I had to learn something called semen retention. And I want to tell you the powers and the benefits of that. There's so many benefits to it, and I recommend that you get on that. And semen retention, let me tell you what that is. That is when you're not going to ejaculate. Yeah. And there are ways to do semen retention and still have sex. So don't think I'm saying no sex whatsoever. There are ways to do it. So you got to just be able to conserve yourself, and it helps long term. It's not going to be overnight thing. It's not going to be, oh, you stop doing it for a week, you stop doing it for weeks. It can take up to a month or two, and that's when you really start feeling the benefits of it. Then you feel the clarity, then you feel the calmness. Like I was not able to control myself. I was at a point where I couldn't control my anger. I was very repulsive. And not only that, whenever somebody triggered me, I didn't react the best way. I realized the more and more you watch porn, the more and more, you do your thing, the less patience that you have. You already got your pleasure. So the last thing you want to deal with is some negative stuff. And it was unfair to my girlfriend, to be fair. I was doing her dirty, and I was not being faithful. And a lot of it was because of I couldn't control my urges, especially my sexual urges, and, always wanting to watch porn, always worrying about girls on social media. That wasn't good for my relationship at all. And I knew I needed to change my ways. If I wanted to have a healthier family, I knew there was ways that I needed to change of my life to be better. And for the most part, definitely have benefited from that, as far as not getting into as many arguments, because I realized I'm able to control how I react. Damn. Once I realized that, that's when I realized, damn, a lot of this has been tied to my addiction to porno. And, I wasn't having any patience. And I was always getting in this unnecessary argument. And a lot of the times it was about other girls, which she had every right to be accusing me of the stuff that she was accusing me of. But I wasn't trying to hear all that. Let's be real. Us men, we know exactly what it feels like to be accused of stuff that you're not even doing. A lot of times I wasn't even doing nothing, but she had reasons to have her suspicions because she knew I was doing something shady. So I beat around the bush and get mad at her and make myself the victim, knowing damn well she has every reason to be accusing me of the stuff she accused me of. And, it got real sloppy, got real messy, and I'm ashamed of the way things went down. It should have never went down the way it went down. But I had to tell her, I had to tell her about that I didn't stop watching porno. I had to tell her that I didn't stop following girls on Instagram, stuff like that. And I had to be real with her. I had to be honest with her. And that's how I really ultimately was able to change. Just going into that level of shame can really set it off for you. Because for me, I'm going to be real with you. That was one of the addictions that I didn't know how to overcome. It's something that I did, something that I watched since I was younger. So it's something that I used to numb me down from all my pain, all the trauma I've been through. So it was like my first girlfriend. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it really, you're in a good mood, you go to porno. You're in a bad mood, you go to porno. You're in an okay mood, you go to porno. Like, it's always there. They have all shapes, sizes, flavor of the week, like, it's addicting. And I know exactly what it's like. You're probably thinking, how the hell am I gonna stop this? But I'm telling you, there's so many benefits to it. And I wanna I can't preach it enough, the benefits of semen retention. It's made my life better. It's made my mind more clear. And it's made me at peace with myself. Now, I feel like I solved half of my problems. Of course, I still have other problems. Life is going to be adversity after adversity. You're going to face your trials and tribulations. It's never going to stop. The storms are going to keep coming. But there are things you can do to make it better. And I highly recommend that we discuss semen retention some more, because I'm telling you, there's so many benefits to it, man. And I want to help those who feel like there's no way out, those who feel like they need to make a change, but they don't know what it is. A lot of times it's the semen retention. It's a thing that you don't even realize that you need. And you can say, oh, but I only watch porn like once a week. I only watch it every other day. I'm telling you, there's so many benefits to not do it at all. And I feel like it's made my life better. And I want to spread that message that, hey, there's a better and healthier way to do things. And I want to help those out who are truly struggling. And if you vibe with this message, then I want you to subscribe to my channel. Of course I do. But there's also so many topics I can discuss. I can discuss trauma, childhood trauma, pain, suffering, depression. There's so many things that I feel like I've overcame. And I would like to help those out who are truly in need, because I know what it's like. I wasn't hearing from anybody who was like myself. I feel like that could have motivated, that could have inspired me. But there is a better way. There is hope. So don't give up. You got this. Salute. I don't know why I did that. I just had to do it.